Okay, a very big welcome from Denby Dale Amateur Radio Club to Emil DL8JJ and to our club members and visitors to tonight's meeting. We're delighted to have Emil back in the room with us. As people will know, we had Emil came and gave two talks to us that were very widely viewed on YouTube afterwards, and we will be recording much of tonight's meeting that will also be available on YouTube. And Emil did agree he would come back and tell us as soon as he could do the story of the trip to Rockall and how it went. And of course, since that time, we've had one or two issues because of what happened with the team leader Cameron. I'm sure Emil will talk to us about that. And then, of course, the return to the island last week on the same yacht, the Taiping, to try and retrieve the equipment. So there's one story and then several more stories to be told here. Before I hand the microphone over to Emil, I do want to just say also a very big welcome to Brian MM1HMZ up in Scotland, who very kindly, at very short notice, stepped in to do the job of picking up Emil very late at night from Glasgow Airport and take him up to Oban Marina a week and a bit ago to accompany the trip up onto the yacht and back to Rockall, and then of course to do the return trip where he picked up Emil and Cameron as well on the way back. So Brian, I just want to say a big thank you on behalf of the amateur radio community for your little bit in helping out Emil and helping out the guys that went up to Rockall. So Emil, I'm going to hand the microphone over to you and allow you obviously to introduce yourself and say a few words to everyone as well. Over to you, Emil.
Yeah, thank you, Nick. Hello, everybody. So the last presentation about it was in ham radio, and I saw all people on my eyeball. It was so great, and I'm so happy and really emotional after this great expedition. I mean, if everything was going wrong and we had bad luck or something like this, I will be the same proud human on that world that we can take. Yeah, we was tried like now the last trip to Rockall to recover some stuff from camp, but it was risky. Now after the expedition to talk about it, it was risky, very risky to talk so open in two presentations before about something what we never done, something like this expedition with so many thousands of questions that we have before. But we have a dream. I had a dream, and so the way was to try to take this next step ahead and try. But before I start, I want to put also, like Nick, you done special thanks to everybody of you and people that are at the moment perhaps are not here from this support. I mean, it's not just support about a couple of money or something like this. It's just for me old, but also new experience in ham radio spirit, and that was great stuff. I mean, my remembering will just come, okay, we done 7,227 QSOs, great, and go, and so everything. It was painful here and there, but I will never ever forget until end of my life this kind of support and this kind of ham spirit, especially for people like Adriana and Mike they done so much proactive. I didn't so realize how big they done it, like Brian and his lovely life in the last week. Like Nick, you told that he picked me, just come pick me up and drove. So yeah, 80, 90 miles in just one direction, middle of the night, and just come back and 2 or 3 hours in the morning and go to bed. And then after that pickup, we spent so lovely evening there. And that was one of the greatest, what I will remember forever. Also you, Nick, about this, all that support. I just tell you, hey man, I need some support, how we can mention, you organize so much stuff about this presentation and so on and so on. And this is what I do, like a real friendship, like also Rick and Martin, they done the antennas for us. And like Rick, they drove 2 times, so round about 400 kilometers from his QTH to me, and bring me the antennas and everything, that stuff. Also, so Tony and Charles is one of the greatest, or for me, the greatest guys. They manage all QSL cards and all that stuff that we have after the expedition, and just we keep cool and safe. And that's really a big thanks, of course, for all other people, their supporters. So for the people that do not know me, I'm Emil Bergmann, DL8JJ. I love climbing. I love ham radio and all these interesting things that I go on this way in my life, all my life. I done many walls worldwide, big walls like El Capitan. Spent 3 days on the wall there. I done many higher mountains. I'm since 23 years a mountain guide. Now on Friday I will fly for 1 month in Polar Cycle Greenland, and I have 2 groups to guiding there. Just 4 days between 2 different kind of expeditions. Ham radio, of course, it's one of my passions, and done many expeditions, SOTA, IOTA stuff, and so on. That's, but it's not just what I done, it's the way. On this way, I met so much interesting and exciting people, and I had to really, and I have since years, great friendships with so many people worldwide, and this kept me happy. Also the way, also now with Rockall. But we don't want to talk about me. I want to talk about the Rockall Island. And the first, when we start, there was a thing that very often just come in my head, the age of existence. And it is. The second thing that we had on our presentation, or what we've done, or what I think it was, that I say, wow, be normal when you can be crazy. That was the first thinking, because I didn't know what's going on, what's come, but it was in my head, and it was my head, and I say, yeah, I want to do this. And it took me years of dream, and now it's just reality. The second thing was, okay, we are now middle of the way, and we are looking for possible into the impossible, step by step, every small step by step, until we done it, and we made it possible. At the end, now, after our great expedition, after this great experience in all kind of life, it's not just the ham radio, it's just experiences with people, with seasickness, with climbing, a new kind of climbing, with all that stuff to use, the climbing stuff and so on, with new people, that we done a great team, like our own family, and we found the right way. But I must say also, also we had luck, a big luck. Rockall is a very tiny island. It's so in the North Atlantic Ocean, like you can see. That was also the pictures from the first and the second presentation. It's around about 460 kilometers from St. Kilda from mainland and 430 kilometers from inland. Our trip start in Inverkeep. It's so around about 40 kilometers from Glasgow airport. And it took so around about 500 kilometers. We had the first bad weather. And I mean, if it's bad weather, this is bad weather, this is impossible weather. If you go on this weather and try, you will be dying on the way, that's for sure. Or you'll be rescued by some people, but it's make no sense and it's not possible. We spent the first 2 days in Inverkeep on the way until to the North Atlantic Ocean on the open sea. So around about 9 hours of our boat until the weather was a little bit better. And we started the journey of 2.5 days, 3 days to Rockall. And why it's so bad the weather, you see, it's a Gulf Stream, and the Rockall, it's on the Gulf Stream and one of the arm of the Gulf Stream. And I must say, every day before I went to Rockall, and now when I wake up in the morning, I am looking some information in the TV, and it's about 99%. I see in the television pictures like this. This is our German television. It's MoMA. It's a morning show, and that's what here it's mean with T. This tango. It's mean it's a bad weather. And every day I see this T, and this is exactly where the Rockall are or is. And that's the main point that that make everything so difficult. And you don't know, it changed the weather so rapidly, like the last week that we had. And you never know what's happened on that way. And we don't use a big boat. We don't have so much money. We make it like the basic. We made agreed things. Because we take a small boat, but it's one of the best boats that we had. Also the team, it's a boat 80 meters long, and we spent all the day 24/7 in the boat, and so sailing until to the Rockall, climb with the normal stuff, the climbing gear, climbing equipment that we use. Everything was, so how can I say, at the moment, most of the people going to Everest, Mount Everest. That was my sense that I say Rockall is like a Mount Everest in the ham radio, because the same goals you have also there, and all of these goals you must be done perfectly, and you must have also many kind of luck. But Mount Everest is, it's also so difficult, like Rockall, because you never know what's happened. And in any time, it's so it's so small part of between the life and death. And that's also here on that point. For 50 years, the first people, they done Mount Everest, they have no oxygen, they have old shoes, they climb from down up to the summit from Lukla or somewhere. They just walk 3 weeks until to the base camp, and then just go up and down for weeks. And that was the same like we done with this boat, with the climbing equipment and so on. That's the main point. The team, we had a great team. That was one of my best team that I have in my life, not just only in climbing, just everything. And that was separated in two teams, team landing, with three, Cam, I, and Nobi, that we was planned to be on the Rockall. Nobi and I as ham radio guys and stay for a couple of hours or couple of days, depend of the condition, depend of all, and camps to stay for a long time, so up to 60 days on the Rockall, and try to do something very special, social thing. And that was really this team of us, Cameroon, Nobi, and I, that we reached the rock and we climb over there. And we had the support team. That was Brian Williams, that was director of photography. We had two guys with the professional cameras and so on, that they from the beginning thing to the end, that was with us. Aaron Well, also cameraman. Michael, skipper. Hamish, also skipper. Alistair, also skipper. And Glenn Porter, the typing captain. Glenn is a great guy. All are great guys, but Glenn as a typing captain was absolutely professional. And he is a really great human, because he cares about us, he cares about everything. And I will never ever forget how professional and how easy he managed everything, all stuff with us, with the ceiling, with the plan, how we want to go, when we want to go. That was one of the main keys to our success. Also with the small boat, with the small dinghy that we use to reach the Rockall. And after so hard climbing on that point, he was so cool, he was so easy, and that was made me really cool and concentrate in my stuff. That was really great. And on that point, I would say thanks, Glenn, for that, for your professionality and for the best friendship. So the challenging and the goals that was on the first time we put it on the table was never changed. And all of this stuff here that we can see, we managed it perfectly. And that was the key to success. The trip, 4 days, go there, the last meters to the rock, so 100, 150 meters from the rock, we took dinghy. That touched the rock in the first 1 meters. You will see in 2-3 minutes when I'm finished here how it was. The climbing on the top, I can say a rock like this, when I took this rock and put it somewhere here in the civilization, clean from all shit, from all stuff there that leave from birds, and so I will climb this rock for 3-4 minutes or something like this, perhaps out without the rope. It is easy. It took me 3 hours, so around about 3 hours to secure the rock, to climb the rock, to reach the rock, and take the boat friends, Cam and Nobi, up to the summit safe. That was the most important thing. Secure the rock from up, down, pulling up the stuff, arrange the camp. It took about 8 hours, so we had a full day, non-stop working after we reached the summit and started to prepare the camp. Stay overnight for a long time for us as the expeditions. That was 52 hours. We had the 52 hours on the air, and of course the day that we reached the island, on the next day that we put all together on Friday, put it down from 4 o'clock in the morning until middle of the day, so around about 1 hour p.m. And then leave the island and drive 2.5-3 days back to the mainland. Provision, water, stay in secure survival, all that stuff. So around about the 2,000 kilograms, 2 tons, we managed all by hands from down there. So around about 80 meters. The ham radio gear, that was the same like we see. You can see it on, later in the film. The power management, we had a generator, one generator live 24/7. When we use it, it's a Honda 10E. We had a spare one in the boat. We had a spare one KX2 on the boat. We had a lot of stuff to spare. If something was wrong, there was no problem to take it in a short time from the main boat over the dinghy on the rock. The radio antennas and the ham radio operation. So, enough talking. Now I will present the film. It's 40 minutes film and you can see how it was. And after that, I will take some words about the technical stuff, about some tuner, about some what we done. It's a little bit changes and a little bit things, what I mean. And of course, after that, I answer some questions. So have fun and everything. So 40 minutes.
Emil, just before you press the button,
yeah.
Just to apologise for our viewers watching this later on YouTube, we're not going to include this film because Emil is going to publish that later more and make it more available. So my apologies to you, and we will come back to the talk later on. Okay, back over to you, Emil. Sorry.
Thank you. No problem. Yes, that was the movie time. Yeah, it's good when if I can see you all now. But so I don't know, Nick, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can, Emil. I think
perfect.
we're all still getting a breath from
thank you.
Watching the
yeah, that's
watching you trying to climb the rock.
We made it. I don't know. It's if I not see this movies, or when I not close my eyes and think about it, I will say that was a dream, or it was a reality. But that was so interesting and exciting. I believe I was very rare in my life. That was very emotional. And when I went back on the boat, because I was the last guy that say goodbye to Cam, and I remember the last words that I told him, hey, brother for life, and that's is still and will still. And I spoke until to the end of our lives, we will remember that time. It's equal what coming if there is other project, other kind of climbing or expedition, but it was absolutely special things for me. I never saw these people before. I met it for the first time, so in personal on Inverkeep, and we start this adventure and we work together really like brothers. And that's the most important thing in my life, and we will still remain forever. And that was also the last that we done it 1 week before. But so now some technical stuff for one or the other, just quickly before I say some words about our last move. When you see the rock, that was our way. We had two different ways. It was a landing site on that point. And you see on the video, just that was just a small hole, but it's niched. It's a little bit more. And it seemed very interesting when you are just 10 meters, 15 meters from the rock. It seems very small. But as soon as you take and you go the first 1 meters on the rock, you see how huge it is. And how dangerous is everything. The red line is my way and the way of Nobi that we climbed. For me, it was the logical way, but after we secured the way from the top, I decided to put additional rope on the yellow one and take the cam on this rope. That was the easy way, or the easiest way. And all what we done was completely right. All what I put it on the rock until to the summit was French slides and pitons. And you can see on the picture that the first slides that I put it was in this small hole to secure me and to secure the first attempt to to put the rope down there to the surface. And it's the funny, we have about 20 days or something like this after Cam went back and we went back again to the rock. I mean, this is a climbing rope. This is one of the hardest rope that you can take on the market. In the statical way, you can put it 2.5 tons. And now, last week, we had never seen something from this rope. So the nature just brushing away. That's the main point then when you can see. And now what they are on the rock that we done it. On my first presentation, I talk about the many options that we have to try to put our stuff from the surface up to the summit. And the easiest and the quickest way was just to take the rope, put down, and the small dinghy. They had, I don't know, 50, 60, 70 times just take some stuff from the main boat, come back, put it on very quickly on the carabiner. And we had bring it up just the two of them, two of us or three of us when it was very heavy, and just go up, down, come now, and so for hours, non-stop for hours to bring it up. But finally we were successful, and that was the best way and the quickest way to put the stuff on the top, start to arrange the camp and to do it. And this is the steepest steep wall. You can see how it's from up. It was also the only one point, I think, around 3, 4 to 5 meters that the surface was still a little bit quiet, independent on all other sides of the rock. So something about the antennas, you see, I use, on my side, I use a symmetrical antenna with Charlie Golf 3000 and the antenna from Rick. Everything was just quickly. Here on that point, the spider beam was put it on, I put into the rock a small friend and fix it, everything. And I tried to put just provisorical, the tuner. And then after that, directly inside of the tent. And you can see I took just the back of the spider beam mast. So additional 1 meters up in the sky. I use my pickle just to put the second leg of the antenna over the corner, and I put it a small piece of isolation here that that as soon as better as possible that the leg are not touching the surface. It was 2 meters antenna that we can put it just with tape over, but it's not worked. I tried 3 times on 2 meters, but it's not worked. I never heard someone, but we try. I tried. That was the important thing, that we will try it, and that's fine. Nobby used a similar antenna. It's just vertical on that point, and just put the second leg of the vertical over the edge. And he used a MAT 40 tuner. So I don't want to do reclaimers for beta, but I didn't understood this concept of these MAT antennas. It's for me, it's bullshit. Why? Because this antenna tuner used 2 cables. One cable is the antenna cable, and the second one is a special cable. They just come from the tuner and go to the cut inside of the radio. So over this cat going everything, 12 volts up to the tuner, and of course the information about the frequency. Everything is fine. Mechanical, it's okay. It's no problem. Small, light, everything fine. But there is a big problem that we had, because when you go and want to do digi mode, you need your modem. And the modem that you need, you must put this modem into the same box into the radio as the antenna tuner. So you can use digi mode, but you don't have antenna because you cannot tune the antenna. And that was the first problem. And we had the luck that I had the additional G5RE with me and a small tuner MFJ 902. And as soon that nobody done a digital mode, we connected the and use it to the J5RV. So if you want to go and buy something like this, be very very kind with this, because it's not, for me, it's not the best solution for something like this. And you must pay and buy a cable, special cable for a kind of radio. Or if you have Yaesu, okay, you must buy a cable 10 meters or 20 meters just exactly for this radio. If you change the radios, you need also a special cable for the next one, ICOM or Kenwood and whatsoever. And that's not the best for me. And the other tuners that automatically worked like my CG3000, you just need 12 volts and the coaxial cable, and you run on any simple frequency that you have and that you want, and the tuner make everything automatically inside. And that was that we use it, MFG 902. We use also the bandpass filters. That was a good one. We run 100 watts all the time. And the most interesting and exciting thing for me that we didn't have any distortion in between the radios. That was great. I never heard Nobby, and Nobby never heard me on CW, and that was good, because you saw the in between the two antennas that was around about 4 or 5 meters, but not more. And that works very, very well all the time. We used like a total two softwares to put the notebooks into the right time. That was very important. And so was very important that we use FT8. We done many, so around about 1,800 QSOs in FT8. We used JT Sync, but that was not enough for my computer, and I used the GP2 time software and this special kind of GPS receiver that I received the time from the satellite, and that was very quickly and easy. We had a small problem that was after we went back from the expedition, and then realized that on some QSOs that we made, we had 1 hour, exactly 1 hour, the time unsynchronization between the QSOs that we log it, the time, and the people that log it. And after a couple of nights, I realized that when you use something like this, so GPS receiver, and the GPS received the time from there you are at the moment. They received the time and put it into the lock automatically. And you cannot change on N1mm plus or in MHF, you cannot change manually the time to say, oh, now my computer time is 2 hours plus or minus, or 1 hour plus and minus from the real time and the logging time. That was the problem, but we have no problem with it. Everything is fine. Charles managed perfect, and just everything is fine. Of course, like I told on the first presentations, we use N1MM, or I use N1MM in CW. Nobby used the wind test. At the end, we had 4 different locks, CW, Digimod on my computer, SSB, and Digimod on the computer of Nobby. We collect all together, and that was really we was really proud and happy to say that within 52 hours, we made 7,227 QSOs. I was so happy, but I didn't sleep all the time. I think in 52 hours plus the day before and the day after, I slept so around about 4 hours or something like this. For me, it was very important to be on the air. And I had so much pain in my ass at the end of the expedition. I had really, really pain. All my body was painful because I sit all these 52 hours into the tent. I had a small headlamp because it was dark into. My computer was on my legs, and that all the time I was sitting there. And as I was realized that something going wrong with me, as soon as I realized that I have a pain on all my body. But for me, it was important to be on the air, to make QSOs, and every QSO to make someone happy. And if we had more time, of course, that was normal to stay longer there. But we can proud say to us, we was 4 days and 3 nights spent on the rock, and done so much QSOs. It was a successful one, and we are happy. We are really very, very happy. And you can see here how on the total score, 3,802 QSOs in CW. I was very happy and proud of this. SSB, many QSOs we done, also 1,544, and in FT8, 1,881 QSOs. We had so much unique stations. So we had 92 countries in our log. And so everything fine. We can say we done a great expedition. And of course, to say we made a history, because after we went back, the Glenn say, hey guys, this expedition is not just easy. It will be very easy if you have thousands of pounds and euros, and you can say, hey, you pay for a quickly boat, and you go not for 4 days, you go just for 10 hours there. You can take a helicopter and put all your stuff very quickly over there. You don't need to climb. Everything is possible, like Mount Everest at that moment. You can take a Sherpa, they can take oxygen with you, and you just go up and down, and everybody can put all base camps and first and second and third, and you just need to go. But we are proud that we done it on this simple and this good way. Of course, spent a lot of money on this way. It was a very, very hard, and you can see now on the videos how it was. But it was fun. At the end, it was much fun. And with the first QSOs, I say, yes, now it's the perfect way. Now we done it. And with every single QSO again and again, and fill the log with so much QSOs, that was fun. I want to say also a great thanks to Tony. Hey, it's amazing, the expedition and the Charles as a QSL manager or QSL team for us. Just only 3 days, 4 days after our expedition, and when we went back, Tony and I, we designed the QSL card, we spoke with the team, and all guys say, okay, hi, everything is fine. This is the perfect QSL card. You can see it, absolutely perfect. 4-size QSL card with so much love done it by Tony. And Charles is just the perfect man for a QSL management board together. A big thanks to you to this great stuff. And 2 weeks after that was a ham radio. Tony brought the QSL cards and ham radio FIA now I think the day yesterday or the day before yesterday, Charles put also all QSLs in low TV. I mean, that's the great. The people should pay, of course, for all QSL. We just need €6 or $6 per QSL card, but you can see how much euro or pounds the other expedition want for the QSL cards. And we have a perfect QSL card with us. And just if you've done with us a QSL and you don't have a QSL card, just go in QRS and you will receive a so interesting, so exciting, and really a QSL card for the life. Thank you very much, Tony, and thank you very much, Charles, on that point for that's perfect way, and that's perfect management in QSL card managing. So it was a great team. It was really a great team, and I will never forget this team. Most of the people ask me or will ask me in the future, why do you do this? But I say the anchor of the beginning of all miracles are the breath of the soul, and that was my dream for years. 6 years and the years before that, I say, that's a great stuff. If I can go one time in my life and visit this place, that will be a wonderful. And I didn't done this by myself alone. I did this with the great friends, and the solution, all what we done, Cam, all these people that I met, that's the best what I have in my life. And when somebody asks, why do you do this? After we had the internet on the way back, so about 20 miles for the main line, we read so many in the social media, and this is the answer why we took all that risk in own, that we made this expedition so possible. Because after I read something like this, Rockall Island, 18 years waiting, that's it was for me so a crying point. That's the reason why we go there. That's the reason why we have a dreams, and that's the reason why the Rockall is worldwide for me, compare with Everest and the climbing. And I can say on Rockall, we are the 6th humans, I say, that we was on this mountain, on this Rockall. And for sure, many people was on, much more people was on Everest than on Rockall. So thank you very much to all everybody. Now open for asking questions. For example, about the toilet. We have a bucket and we go on the toilet into the bucket and just pushing down there. All the age. It was the same like I told the first time, and we done it the same way. Okay, guys.
Emil, that was absolutely superb and really breathtaking and fascinating. And I'm sure everyone's been as captivated as I have tonight. We've got someone else has joined us tonight on the Zoom call, Emil. Skip Cameron.
Skip Cameron.
Has joined us.
Yes, this is Skip Cameron, Whiskey 5 Golf Alpha India, down in southern Mississippi. A very, very distant cousin of Cam's, I assume. but I've enjoyed hearing your video and had a chance to work Rockall on CW with you. So thank you for the QSO.
Great.
And I appreciate you sharing all the exciting points of your trip, because I knew it was an amazing trip, but it's even more amazing to see what you've done. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Skip. Have we got any other people that would like to ask any questions? Wave at me, or use the thumbs up button, or raise your hand button, whichever you want to ask a question. Yeah, Stephen.
I was sent a copy of Radcom, and the article was absolutely brilliant. I thought I'd just mention it.
Thank you.
The magazine Radcom.
Yeah, thank you, Stephen. I did that with Emil and Nobby. I had a long chat with both of them just a few days after they returned, and used their own words and descriptions to put together the article. So thank you, Stephen, for that.
No, brilliant.
That. Right. Anyone else with a question or comment to Emil while we have him here tonight? Everyone's gone shy now. Everyone's gone shy.
Is there someone ask in YouTube?
We've got I'll come to YouTube in a second. We've got Terry G3VFC.
Yes, hello everybody, and Emil, a special hello to you. Thank you for doing all that. It moves me really to tears. One thing I do notice is that people on dry land take enormous care to wrap all joints up in very great layers of waterproofing and it seems to me that, okay, so you only had 4 days on Rockall, but everything seemed to be not waterproofed, not layered in plastic, and yet it all worked. Lucky, or do we just worry about it too much in dear old Blighty?
What was the question? I didn't understood. Sorry.
Okay, I'm just commenting really, Emil, on the lack of weatherproofing. All connections, all equipment really seems to be out in the open, and for 4 days, and yet it all worked. And hats off to you and the makers of the kit.
You mean the open against the weather?
Yeah.
So we had if I understood the question, we had really a good weather on that day. The first 1.5 days we had a perfect weather. After that they changed the weather slightly and became wet, and everything was extremely slippery, as you saw on the video. In the barrels, we had everything was clean and dry. Everything was just fine inside. Of course, the first after this 1 day, hard day, from morning until middle of the night, or 1-2 hours in the night before we started to be on the air, everything was all over, because we didn't have time to arrange everything. For us, it was very important to start to do QSOs, and every day, every single hours after that, the day 2 and 3 and 4, camp start to arrange the camp, start to do everything fine and arrange. And when you are on the summits like this, I mean summits, or the place like this, you have every day a lot of work. You change standing something, improve something, make it better, and so on and so on. For me, it was the first that I secured the way up, and so to secure the top, that we are all the time 24/7 just move with online with our hardness. And that was no problem more. So with wet or something like this.
Absolutely amazing, Emil. Well done to everybody. Well done. Thank you.
Thank you, Terry. I'm just going to go to YouTube and read out a couple and also some questions from YouTube. So I'll read out some of the comments. Hanno Behrens, DL7HH, says, just great, boys. Good job. What an adventure. So was schreibt Geschichte.
Yeah, we made a history.
So that's from Hanno. We've got Dave Shaw, G4NOW, who said, well done, all concerned with the Rockall expedition. And Peter Ackerman, that's DL3NAA. And Peter is a QRP operator, and I've worked you a few times, Peter, so good to see you tonight. Peter had two questions. The first one was to you, Emil, and that is, did you have anything like a climbing map for Rockall? And why did you choose that route that you took in the first place? How did you come to choose that route to climb up, first of all?
Thanks for the question, because the funny situation was at the beginning when I start, so for years, to looking for some information. And when you write, so from 1 month before, 2 months before we start with videos and so, that was just only a couple of pictures to find, but no more, no information. That was the expedition before, for 10 or 12 years before, from Owen guys, but it was nothing to find exactly. I had a talk with Nick Hancock, but he told me just take the book and buy the book and you can find all information inside. I talked about it's no problem about it, but for me it was important to have a personal contact or just to receive some pictures or videos. And I had no chance to take something like this. All what I had is just 1 or 2 pictures and my dreams and my experience. It's something like when I go to climb some crazy summits, and I must find the right way for me, and on that point, right way for the guy for Cam and Nobby. As we went to the rock, Glenn and we had with a small dinghy around of the island, and then Glenn told me, hey, just you're a professional guy, see from all sides the Rockall and tell me what is for you on this point the best place to go. And as we turn around the rock, I saw, okay, this should be the best place, because when you see the rock there is a small ledge, so it's not so steep like from the other side. There is a small ledge to reach the first reach, and I saw on the left side go something like crack and this hole. And I saw, okay, this is perhaps the best way, or this is the first way to go and try to fix me inside. But I didn't know before. And after I reached the first step, made go into this hole, I found a small hole and put a small slack over there with carabiner and say, okay, that's the perfect secure, safe point. The second was I move it from on the left side, so 1.5 meter. It was so slippery that I put it on a small crack friend. Secure me by a second time. It was 1.5 meter from the hole. Then 1 meter left, I found a better place to put the first piton. And then I saw, okay, when I come up, it's perhaps the better way. And that was decision. So I take decision, but I don't know if this decision is right or not, but I take decision. On situation like this, you must take decision. And you should be something, how I can say, ready to die for this decision and do the next step and the next step. And as I was 2.5 meters over this point, I saw, okay, directly go, it's not possible. On the corner, it's not possible. Just I saw a small way go down, so some around about 4 meters down, and they go on the ledge up again. And I was there, and from the other side, that was not so steep. That was the good way. I found a small hole, put it again, additional friend, and that was so physically or psychical for secure. But just to say to me, okay, you are safe. I was not safe, but it was just 1.5 meters. I found a very small fight of small caves and put additional 2 pitons, normal pitons. And from this point up to the summit, that was so around about 6 meters, but it was slippery, and that was no good place to stay. So I decided to come back, to fix the rope, to come back down to the surface, to take Nobby as the second one. And that was I done. We both together climbed until to the last point of these 2 normal pitons, and he secured me over these 2 pitons up to the summit. And then when I was on the summit, that was easy going and to take decision. It was just a decision. It was just decision as I studied this 1 or 2 pictures in internet. And of course, when I saw the Rockall from all sides and say, okay, this could be the best place to land. And the first 2 attempts was unsuccessful because you saw on the last, we used the highest point of the well that we went with the dinghy. And on that point, I was very quickly on the rope. But you saw in the video how the dinghy was when the wave was go back. It was just to come down. It was really luck also for the team into the dinghy that they was in just, if there was just a couple of centimeters less for down the wave, they just come down. It's risky. That's the Rockall. So the next question.
Okay, thank you for that. And Peter's second question was about using a Scottish call sign, and he's asking, is it correct it would have been a new DXCC if you'd used an English call? I think I can probably answer that one for Emil. There is no such thing as an English call in the sense that we are allocated a call sign for the United Kingdom, which includes Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland within it as well. And there are what are called regional locators. So if I move to Scotland, my call sign would become GM4IWO. And as it stands at the moment, if I went to Northern Ireland, it would be GI4IWO. But Rockall is not determined to be an entity as such. And under international law, there is also some argument about who it actually belongs to. So the United Kingdom claimed ownership of Rockall, I think, in the mid-1950s, but it's disputed. So Iceland believes that they actually own Rockall, but no one really is ever going to go to war over it because no one lives on it, and no one's ever going to be able to live on it for more than a few days, as people have established. So it is not recognised as a country under any of the international legislation, but it is recognised as an island on the air. So that's why they were able to give the IOTA call when they were on Rockall. But it would have made no difference if they'd used a GM call sign, a G or M call sign on Rockall. It would have been, it would have made no difference to it being a DXCC entity. So unfortunately, it's not going to get in the DXCC books as another country or entity, but it is an island on the air. That's right, isn't it, Emil? I've explained that properly. hopefully.
Yeah, perfect. Yes. That as I come into the team, the call sign is exists long, and that's something like Mike Zero's Scotland, and then United Kingdom Islands. So say her, and that's fine. Of course, after the expedition, when I compare, of course, we compare everybody with others. For me, if IRL, I don't know who is the guys there decided, but Rockall, for me, personal could be own country. It's not just island, just country could be possible, because it's a very special kind of thing, like Bouvet or something like other countries. But it's not my decision. It's just something like dream or say, hey, that was so special. You know, it's so special that could be have own prefix and yeah, will be something like the XCC, and that's the interest will be raised more, of course, than at the moment, because there is a it's not the XCC, it's just a Iota island, and perhaps, I don't know, we will see in the next years, 100 years or something, of what's happened.
Yeah, and I think Peter, it's the case that it wasn't until the late 1930s that the concept of DXCC was established, and the ARRL did define a definition of it, which was a geographical or political entity.
Yeah.
So, you know, they're actually, Emil is right. There is scope for the ARRL to determine that Rockall could be a geographical entity, and it would be wonderful if that was the case. But it's not the case at the moment, and that's not determined by the call sign. But thank you for those questions, Peter. I don't think, just double check, we've got no other questions from those watching on YouTube. So just going back to the main room, if we've got anyone in the room that wants to make a comment to Emil before we wish him a very good evening.
I have, before we leave, I will show you, we was last week on Rockall. We saw Rockall just for 100 meters. That says everything. That when the nature say no, it's no. I will show you, just before we go ahead, just 2 videos, brand new, about it. And you can see how it could be there when the weather is bad. So you see the waves, and we had, it was
Emma, you need to hit the share button again. We're not seeing the videos yet, so you have to share again. Go to share on the screen.
I need to share the screen again.
Yeah.
Ah, okay. Moment. I'm away from the Zoom. No. Just a second, because something. I see me, but
Let me just take the spotlight off you. That might help to find you easier. So just on a second. Down the bottom of your Zoom screen, there should be the button that says share screen on it.
Yeah, but I did not see this. I see meeting teilnehmen. It's something not so. I don't have this screen anymore. I don't know why. Give me a second. As soon as I do, I will take another questions parallel. We can do it another questions until I fix it.
If you press Control plus and backslash, that should bring the screen up. Hold down Control plus and backslash. That should bring up all the meeting controls.
Backslash.
Control plus backslash.
Yeah, I put it, but it's I did not see this.
No.
I see it just from my meeting. No.
Try Emil. Try Alt and S. Alt and S.
Moment. Moment.
Alt and S.
Yeah. So
that should come to share screen.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Now it should be fine. Can you see me?
Yeah, we can. Yep.
You can see it. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. You can see the waves, how they smash in the Rockall. And that was a little bit better weather, but not possible. It's a little bit better weather to reach the island. The drive is 500 kilometers or even less this time because we started walking. And then this is the situation, that was the situation now on Rockall. The waves, there is no chance to go Iggy or something like this. So that's it. They say no. Danger to us. So, okay. Another questions.
Adriana, you had your hand up earlier.
Yeah.
Yes. Hello, Emil. It was very, very exciting talk, and it was very impressive film again. Yes, and I have thought about the expedition last week, and how are your thoughts about the new attempt to go to Rockall? It must be, I think, very exciting if one knows how difficult it is to find the real spot where you can go to the island again. It's so dangerous, and it takes so much time to come to Rockall, and the weather forecast can't be taken so precise that you can choose the right spot. So I think it must be very, very difficult to find a new spot where you all have time and the ship is available and it's safe again to go to climb up there. And it has been so dangerous. How do you think about it? How do you feel about this?
Yeah, that was the first step was the same, Adriana. That's the way of life. When you go on such places like this, you never know. And as dangerous, you have a big risk and of course a so small window. We are proof that we love this project, that we are one team, that we stay behind the camp, behind our dreams, and behind all that stuff. Our main goal last week was not to go to play the radio. Of course, we had the radio with us, but the main goal was to take all that stuff from the island, to recover and to clean the island. And I'm a little bit sad, but I'm very, very happy, and I'm very proud of this step, that we done it in the same team together. Glenn is ready to go again and again. Of course, it's difficult, but we take decisions. There is a couple of ideas that we discussed the last time. What is the next step? I cannot say because we should take also decision in between and then say, okay, what we want to do. But there is a couple of ideas that we have hopefully now make. But what I want to say, we keep alive, and human life is the most important thing. Of course, on the summit still remain important things. They cost a lot of money. It's not so clean as we reach it for the first time. But at the end of the day, it's everything is material, and we should for any step in the future, we shall see, and we shall take the to compare the risk and with our life. If we pay for that, we are alive. I mean, or called something going wrong, always say the nature is here. A couple of these things went away. That was the reason why the camp was rescued by helicopter, and that was for the first time with a big helicopter, with this helicopter to fly there and take someone in the history. And we will see what happened. I cannot say at the moment because there is just ideas, and we will see on the next. It's something like, how can I say, again, Mount Everest. When I go with friend on Mount Everest, and for example, he going to die somewhere on 8,000 meters. And there is important things for my head to say, hey, when should I go back and try to rescue the body or not? We done these steps. We tried these steps to risk again bad weather, to risk again everything. But we tried. And if we had a better weather, I'm sure we had last week also a successful week. Climb again, put everything in 2, 3, 4 hours, just play a little bit radio for 2 hours or something like this, and went back happy. But now I am happy. I'm happy because we done this step. It's another kind. So many people have no understand this step. So many people say it's so dangerous. You see your videos. You fall 2 times in the water, it was just 5 degrees centigrade. When I was full the first time, I didn't have, if you see the video after a couple of months or so, when I put it, you can see it exactly. I didn't have a dry suit because it was too heavy, everything to climb, and I decided to climb without. So I fall in the water and everything was wet. I was completely wet. And every time we went back to the main boat, I dress you up, put again dry clothes, put the dry suit again for first time, second time, and so. I didn't realize on that moment what happened with me. After I received the videos, I realized what happened with me on that point and how big the waves was. We had a good weather and we had a really luck. And that was completely, you are something like nothing against the nature. So, but we tried this step again, and that made me happy and proud that we tried this step. What will be happened in the near future or in the future, I don't know. We should discuss into the team again, and just now everybody at the home, family, and see what happened. Just take a rest for a moment. Because Kemit's hard guides was amazing that after this rescue for him take a so long time that they put it energy again and stay and say, hey guys, I need your help. You're my team. Let's go, let's try. This is the right way. Just try it again. It's something like with the body. So I will decide to go and take this risk that perhaps I will going to die, but it's on that point that was real and it was right thing. What's happened? What is the next? I don't know. So we will take, of course, decision. Perhaps we come back next year, use the same land port and do again the same expedition, but we take 15 or 20 days source window, like you told. And then within this window, when we say, okay, the weather will be fine, is fine in the last 5 days or 3 days, we have fine weather for the next 5 days or 10 days, and we go. But we have 20 days. I don't know. There is a lot of different opportunities. That was just now, and that this 1 week was booked for to take a camp as usual. You know, that was 60 days. After 60 days, that was and we say, hey, the weather seems to be good, but they change in the last hours that we have big waves, so that we couldn't reach it. We will stay for 5 hours, so driving around and say, okay, perhaps there is opportunity to try it, but there was no way. With the small diggy, also no way to go.
Yeah. I think it's the right decision, but yes, I think it's very interesting to see how to cope with such situations, with risky situations, and with things you want to do, and where there is a risk, to do it step by step. I think that's the right way. And yes, let's hope for the best, that everything will go well in future. Thank you very much for this amazing
You're welcome. Yeah, well, welcome. Yeah, that's the mean what the people asking most of the time. How can you take decisions? But you must take decision. It's something like when you have a bad weather in the mountains or somewhere out countries. There is 2 opportunities. You can sit there. Most of the people sit just there and say, "Fuck bad weather. I do nothing," and wait of what's happened. But you know exactly, if you stay for an hour, if you stay for 2 hours or 5 hours, you will going, for example, to die, for example. So there is the second situation is to say, I must take decision. I must take decision. Without to know if this decision is right or not right. There is many waves after that. Should I go back? Should I go ahead? Should I go this or others? But you must take decision and do something. It's most important thing in the life. You must take decision and do it. Try the next step. And when you see, okay, it was not right, okay, take the next one, and try to go to your main goal. It's like the same when you go with someone, they say, hey, do you want to marry me? You don't know. You can say yes, and you take decision and say, I want to stay with this guy or this woman for all my life. I want to have children and so, but nobody know what's happening in 10 or 20 years. And that's to make decisions. It's important in the life.
Yeah. Yeah. This, I think it's amazing what all of you three had done for the ham radio world, but it's also a very interesting personal experience for all of you, I think. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Adriana. Well, look, thank you very much, Emil, on behalf of everyone tonight and those that have followed your amazing expedition. I mean, I've just got a question to you that I was really surprised, but I understood it. You know, you are a very experienced climber. El Capitan, which is what, 900 meters of sheer rock going up. You've been up El Capitan, yet you described the climb up this relatively small piece of rock as one of the most difficult you've ever done as a climber. And as you said, when you were describing it, Emil, it was because there was nothing to protect you at all to start with, until you had managed to secure some pitons or friends to support your rope. And you said that to me when we did the interview for Radcom, that you were very, very aware that if you fell, you were likely going to die. So you had to be very, very careful on every move that you made. And I just say to you as an individual, and I know on behalf of the amateur radio community that were following you, it was quite an extraordinary achievement. I think we've all just been amazed at what you and Cam and Nobby achieved in climbing that rock and staying on it for the time you did. And to make over 7,000 QSOs in such a short period of time is just, I mean, we all listened, Emil, to both the single sideband and the CW pile-up was massive. And, you know, for you to work that in such conditions was amazing. So on behalf of everyone here tonight and those that have followed your adventure, those that have watched the YouTube videos, those of you watching on YouTube, I would just want to say to you a great big thanks to you and Nobby and Cameron for what you've done on behalf of everyone.
Terrific.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you to all everybody. Thank you. Thank you. It was just...
Emil, you said you're taking a break. You're off on a polar expedition in how many days?
4 days now. I will just come on Saturday and then prepare my next expedition for Polar Cycle. Now on Friday I will fly to Polar Cycle. I have 2 groups to manage there, to guiding. On the end of the world, wonderful nature. It's nothing with climbing like this, but it's so some summits and no internet. But it's wonderful, and I'm happy to meet new people in my life and to manage also this. I will be back on end of August again, and so what's next? We will see what's next. But thank you very much to you, Nick, to everybody. And of course, when not so much birds on there, or for example, if there was a big storm before we went or so, then you have a clean rock, then it's easy going. It's easier, you know, it's easier to go. That's the most challenging thing. As I talked with Nick Hancock, Nick said me, I didn't use so much ropes or without rope. He had a better conditions on that point. I don't know, but it's just a one single point that we, on the time we was there. If we go now or a week later or 2 weeks later, we don't know what we can see there. It could be easy going, it could be impossible like last week. That's the difference between a rock like this and El Cap or other rocks, because when you see you have good weather on El Cap, it's a clean rock. You use magnesia, you use your climbing things that you know. But here, when you're very strong or not strong, you just put your leg on some good point, for example, on Rockall, and you never know if this if you slip down or not. That's the fear. You sit there and say, what I do, what am I to do? I go with my leg over there and push on that small piece of stuff, but it's with shit over there, and you don't know if it will be care you to make the next step. That is the main problem of Rockall. Of course, to go there and to find a good way, good weather or something like this. But everything is possible. We see also it's possible. We done it, and I hope that's another expedition will be in the future, go there and use our experience to do it again and again. Perhaps we go
Emil, thank you very much indeed. I'm gonna turn off the recording, and I shut down YouTube in a second. So thank you to everyone on YouTube who's been watching, and thank you to everyone here, and obviously a big thanks to Emil, and good luck, Emil, with your expedition in a few days' time.
Thank you very much for everybody.